The United States has launched a major military operation in Venezuela, marking a dramatic escalation in American foreign policy and military engagement in the Western Hemisphere. According to official statements, President Donald Trump announced that U.S. forces carried out a large-scale military strike in Venezuela's capital, Caracas, resulting in the capture of Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Celia Flores. Maduro and Flores were reportedly flown out of Venezuela and transported to the United States, where they will face federal charges in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York. Those charges include allegations related to drug trafficking and narco-terrorism, claims the Maduro government has repeatedly denied. The military strike involved coordinated actions against multiple targets within Venezuela, including key military installations and defensive positions. Explosions were reported throughout Caracas and surrounding regions during the early morning hours, and air and ground operations were confirmed by multiple sources. The Trump administration described the operation as successful, with no reported U.S. fatalities. President Trump told reporters that the United States would temporarily assume responsibility for governing Venezuela until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. He also indicated that the U.S. intends to rebuild Venezuela's oil infrastructure, positioning American companies to participate in revitalizing what remains one of the world's largest proven oil reserves. U.S. officials identified the operation as a coordinated effort involving elite military units, including elements of the U.S. Army's Delta Force. The administration stated that months of preparation and intelligence gathering preceded the action, and that the goal was to detain Maduro, enforce existing U.S. criminal indictments, and weaken the influence of organizations the U.S. government classifies as threats to regional stability. In response to the strikes and Maduro's capture, Venezuela's Supreme Court designated Vice President Delcy Rodriguez as the country's acting president. Rodriguez, a longtime political ally of Maduro, initially condemned the U.S. action as a violation of Venezuelan sovereignty, but later signaled willingness to engage in dialogue and cooperation with the United States under certain conditions. International reaction has been swift and highly polarized. Nations, including Iran and Russia, strongly condemned the U.S. operation as a breach of international law and an unlawful use of military force. The UN Secretary-General has warned that such actions set a dangerous precedent, raising serious legal concerns about state sovereignty, the immunity of sitting heads of state, and the use of force without explicit Security Council authorization. Domestically, U.S. political figures have offered mixed reactions. Some lawmakers praised the action as a decisive strike against corruption and criminal networks. Others criticized it as unlawful and strategically unwise, warning that it could destabilize the region and undermine international norms. The situation in Venezuela remains fluid. Pro-Maduro supporters have taken to the streets in protest, and reports of civilian and military casualties have emerged from affected areas. Venezuelan infrastructure, including power grids in parts of Caracas, was disrupted during the operation. The Trump administration has framed the operation as an enforcement of justice and an assertion of U.S. commitment to combating transnational crime and narco-terrorism. Critics, however, argue it represents a significant escalation of American military intervention and raises profound questions about respect for international law, executive authority, and the future of regional stability. As Maduro prepares to appear in federal court in New York, the world watches a moment that may redefine the boundaries of American power and international norms. For clear, independent reporting on global power and political shifts, subscribe to State of Power. Like this video and share it to keep informed.